know.
And also, I have a really special guest and joining our video
I have a
today.
very special guest joining my video today
Yeah.
who's giving me instructions. She's going to make her appearance very soon. Are you going to say something?
Hi.
Hello there, internet friends. Say hello.
Hello, I'm Michaela, obviously her daughter.
Okay. Anything else, dear?
Yes, I want to tell you some really special things that she got me. So God brought me this amazing mother, and she got me a new watch, and she gives me nothing but love.
Okay. All right. All right. Get on my video, please. Thank you, Sleepy. All right. Hey, y'all. This is Danielle Pierce, creator of Real Estate Profit Lab and Property Preservation Mastery. Had a guest appearance by my 7-year-old today. As always, come into the room, say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. If you're brand new to the channel, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. So we have exactly 2 days left. Ooh, I like this orange. Very fall, Thanksgiving-y. So you're gonna make an appearance with no shirt on? Okay, thanks, dear. 2 days left in our hashtag Day in the Life campaign, ladies and gentlemen. So far, we've talked about contractor issues, tips to expand your business, working with family and friends, pros and cons of the industry. And for the next 2 days, we're highlighting our best success stories of the year and talking about the current state of the industry. If you missed any of the prior videos, please go back and watch them. They will not be deleted. They will remain up indefinitely. I want you guys to have a single place where you can go to get answers to the most frequently asked questions. And that is what this campaign does. So before I continue, let me go ahead and check in with my YouTube people and see who is watching now. Let me see. I don't see anything in the chat just yet, but you guys just drop a hello, drop a hey, drop something in the comments so I can go ahead and respond to you live. All right. This is usually where we get into highs and lows. So highs and lows is where it's something that my business partner and I started doing. Well, actually, it was his idea. And we do this before some of our meetings as a way to share insight about our personal lives and what's going on. And it doesn't have to be anything super traumatic, just something great that happened today and something not so great. So I have no lows today, which is rare. I usually have a low and I am leading with my lows every single day, but I don't have any today. In terms of highs, first of all, these earrings are super cute. I got them at my favorites, well, one of my favorite stores, which is Target. I love them. I do play tennis. I'm not much of a tennis player, but nevertheless, I do like to play. So that's one high. Another high is that I am reading this book. It's called When the Body Says No. I know I'm always reading something new, and usually multiple books at a time. And this book is about the effects of chronic stress on physical health. So did you know that for many autoimmune diseases like Lou Gehrig's, like what's a common one that affects lupus and plenty of other ones, that there is a strong correlation between emotional stress and the onset of these particular diseases. So and especially particularly repressed emotions kind of come out in the body, which is why the book is entitled When the Body Says No. And then my other high is that I went to Macy's the other day. That's probably another one of my favorite shows. And they had a sale on all their bedding. So I bought this collection from the hotel collection. I got these sheets, I got a new cover and a comforter. And when I tell you, it is the best thing ever. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I've really been living a life of just lack. Because I was like, people been sleeping on this like for their whole lives. So I just thought I'd share that with you guys. I thought it was pretty funny. And I talked to my partner Thomas earlier today too, and he said the same thing, that earlier he and his girlfriend had bought some new sheets, and it was like a life-changing experience. But to be fair, when you are focused on survival, things like, oh my gosh, let me get an amazing, sheet set with a high thread count, those things are, don't even cross your mind. So anywho, drop your highs and lows in the comments as well. Let me see who checked in on YouTube. Hey, Angel. Hey, O'Bailey from California. It is like 2 hours earlier there for you. So Pretty good. All right, let's move on. So what else? Drop your highs and lows in the comments if you have not already. General reminder, in is it 2 days now? Yeah, 2 days. You'll have 5 hours to register for our flagship property preservation mastery program. It's going to be $1,497. It's $1,000 off the regular price. We're also throwing in an additional $3,000 in bonuses. I'm going to break this all down in excruciating detail before well, on Wednesday. So hopefully you guys will be able to tune in for our monthly industry overview, our live Q&A session, which is going to be on Zoom. You'll be able to ask your questions live. And then of course, we launch the sale right at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. So Wednesday is going to be a good day. Last time we talked about home equity in relation to foreclosure activity. Specifically, we talked about the theory that's been pretty prevalent throughout the pandemic, which has been, folks have plenty of equity. There's not going to be a lot of foreclosures. This is nothing like 2008. And then like literally 12 months later, it's like, oh, this kind of looks like 2008 because people don't have the equity that, we thought that they did. Today, we're talking about our student that had a $10,000 a month during the pandemic. Actually, I think about a couple months ago, I think in September or maybe August. So we'll get into that. Really good story, plenty of ups, plenty of downs. I'm going to share with you guys tonight. Can't get her to come on video just yet, but hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll happen soon. So backdrop. Preservation has been on the slow side in many areas due to the moratorium. To have a 5-figure month, specifically a $10,000 month, you need to be super committed, consistent, and do solid work. Gloria is someone that I want to highlight for overcoming a lot of initial obstacles and having solid 4- and 5-figure months. And she's also dealing with another adverse situation with the theft of her work trailer, which I'll get into in just a moment. So first things first about Gloria, she did have initial issues with setting up her entity. I think that it was an issue related to the address. When you're setting up an LLC, they don't allow PO boxes and things like that. And so if you do use that, you have to sometimes redo your application in order to get your LLC officially approved by the states. I know there were some issues with it. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I just want to point out that there was an issues from the onset. Second thing is she ran into issues obtaining her insurance. Specifically, I think the situation was she got insurance with one company. That rate, it's Brunswick. It's typically like the highest rate, but they also don't include one of the coverages that we all need in the industry. So she had to cancel that and go with another company. If I'm not mistaken, I think that was a scenario there, but she was able to push through that. Third issue is that she had significant issues with finding a contractor and in fact was ready to give up. I do want to point out that finding a contractor is a challenge. I don't want to ever sugarcoat that. It's just something that you have to manage over time. It does get somewhat easier, but it never completely goes away. You will hear from Joey, is it tomorrow or the next day? In 2 days. And he talks a lot about what he's done to find contractors. And I think you'll find it really useful to hear from him directly. But again, that's in 2 more days. Gloria did have a $3,000 month, and she thought that she wasn't going to get paid for the work that she done, but she did receive that. So that allowed her to kind of, get some breathing room and catch up. Early on in the business and preservation, whether it's that or any other business, you will find that you spend money and funds are limited at the onset. You spend money to get started and you're doing work, but you kind of like need your money back ASAP. And so I know the feeling of, well, what if they don't pay me back? Like this whole shit blows up in like the first 90 days because I need this money to come back relatively quickly. So fortunately that was able to happen. And then after finding a contractor, finally, she ran into subsequent issues with her contractor taking the wrong photos, like dozens and dozens of photos of the same thing, and also doing a lot of complaining, which contractors do. Oh, real quick, I forgot to share another high with you guys today. So Chicago has something called a large lots program. It's where you can buy vacant lots for $1, and you have to own property on the block already, and you can only buy on the same block as the existing property that you own or the block directly behind it. So I have one already in Chicago in West Pullman. And then I'm actually going to be closing on my second one for $1. They sent out an email today. The closing is December the 15th, I think it is. When I tell y'all, I had forgotten all about this. It's probably been I think 18 months since I did this initial application. It has been an extremely slow and tedious process, but whatever. It's $1. You got to bring 89 bucks to closing. I'm okay with it, right? Because I think that it's better to own land than to not, especially if it's going to be this cheap. You only got to pay property taxes, which are like 400 bucks a year. So that's actually another high for me. All right. So I just want to share that with you guys real quick. And again, that program is called the Large Lots Program in Chicago. You can't take advantage of it if you don't own property on an existing block, but there may be a similar program in a city where you live. All right, moving on. Back to Gloria. So she did have a $10,000 month after finding the contractor, after the contractor started doing a lot of complaining. After her contractor, she had to train them on taking the correct amount of photos and kind of moving the camera around to make sure you get different angles, because you can't they ask you for 100 photos and you take 100 photos in the same exact spot. Well, you basically wasted everyone's time in the process. And the latest issue is the theft of her work trailer with thousands of dollars in equipment. So this is a big deal. And I do want to make sure that I don't underscore or undermine the criticalness, is that a word, of this particular event happening, so soon in the business. I mentioned earlier that, when you're early in the business, you kind of are on a shoestring budget. You need the money to come back right away. And the theft of a work trailer is something that could literally set you back, significantly, or could even set you back permanently. So it's my hope that it doesn't set her back permanently. We did gift her $1,000 donation to help her bounce back. But again, we're talking about thousands of dollars worth of equipment. So think of lawnmowers, snow blowers, trailers, shrub trimmers, dehumidifiers, winterization equipment. All those things cost quite a bit of money. So now moving forward, of course, you can rent a lot of those things out on a hourly or daily basis from Home Depot, Lowe's, and Menards. Those are the only 3 hardware stores that I'm familiar with. You can't do that, but to lose or to have somebody steal from you that amount of equipment is a crippling experience. In terms of my experience with that, I have had a contractor. I mentioned this in a video some days ago. There was an issue with the property in Tennessee, and the first set of contractors stole all the roofing supplies that I had just paid for the day before, because I had to let them go and bring on a new team. So it did cost me $3,000. Outside of that, my only other issues with theft has been really from contractors. Contractors stealing stuff off the truck, taking stuff to the pawn shop. And that's been my only other experience with contractor theft, outside of living in Chicago and the usual possibilities of theft that happen so frequently. So somebody busting your windows, steal the change out of your the cup holder in the car. Somebody did steal a catalytic converter off the front of a truck while we were inside the house, living in the house. So those things have happened, but nothing that as crippling as this early on. So I do want to make sure that I make a request that you guys all extend Gloria some warm wishes, some grace, some motivation to keep going. Because here's the thing: if a person is able to create a $10,000 month, and before that, I think a $3,000 month, and before that, or after the $3,000 month, I think it was $5,000 or $7,000. If a person is able to do that, given all the hiccups up front, the hiccups, that happened shortly after finding a contractor, having pretty much everything that could go wrong during a pandemic, during a federal eviction moratorium, which slowed business down drastically. I think she is it's either Minnesota or Michigan, if I'm not mistaken. If someone is able to do that, then that person has everything that they need in order to be wildly successful. Not to mention, she is someone who tends to be very pessimistic and kind of expecting the worst. I mean, I have that same personality trait as well, so I get it. It's kind of like you want to be prepared for whatever life throws at you, and in order to do that, you just think of the worst case scenarios, and you kind of like create this stuff in your head, and you're like, okay, this is what I'm going to do if this happens. But I have come a long way from allowing that to, kind of cripple me in terms of my thought process. And, life is hard enough as it is. There's no need to be out here creating stuff that has not yet happened or worrying about things that has not yet occurred because yeah, life is going to send you plenty of things to worry about. But I'm going to argue that these are all the exact reasons why she is going to continue to be successful and really even more successful, because success is the only outcome when you don't give up. Success is the only outcome when you don't give up. All right. So again, if you guys are watching, please send Gloria some warm wishes, some motivation, some encouragement, so that she does not give up and that she's able to continue on with the business, continue to bring in revenue, recover from the loss of her work trailer, and just really, kind of regain her mindset in order to push forward, because this is a big deal. And I hate that it happened so early on in the process. I would hate it if it happened at any point in the process, because somebody stealing all your stuff like that, or stealing from you, period, it's a violation, and it's really hard to explain unless you've experienced it yourself. But again, I lived in Chicago for many, many years, and so I've had lots of things stolen from me. I remember once I had a car stolen on 83rd and Anthony, and it was a station wagon. This was my grandmother's car, and they stole it. And I remember calling to make a police report, and they never even showed up, because it's so common to have things stolen from you that they were like, okay, well, we probably won't find it, but if we basically like, we'll keep an eye out. And nobody ever even came to take a police report in person. So it sounds like, where Gloria, she lives in a state that is, may operate similarly. All right. So with that in mind, ladies and gents, again, we have 2 more days left. Today is Monday, the 22nd. Our Black Wednesday sale, or Black Friday sale, starts Wednesday at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. I would love to see all of you on our live Zoom session. Please make sure to go back and watch all the prior videos if you have not already. They will help you tremendously. That way, when we get on the Zoom session, you guys can just ask all the detailed questions and kind of take things to a next level, and I'll be more than happy to assist you as you ask those questions. All right, so thank you guys so much for tuning in. Sorry I'm late today. What's the saying? I'm late today because I don't know what happened. But here I am. O'Bailey says stress is the cause of all bad things. My grandmother said that years and years ago. She would always say, stress will kill you. And sure enough, there's lots and lots of science that indicates that is exactly the case. Hey, Shannon. Shannon says, I'll finally catch a live. Yes, you did, Shannon. And then Williams Lawn and Property Cleaning, Wichita, Kansas in the house. Hey, William. How you guys doing? Or Williams Lawn and Property Care, I should say. So thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you as always. Sending you love, light, peace, blessings, grace, and clarity. And I'll see you guys back here